Rocking it. You hear that? Shapato, shapato. When you turn within where it all begins, you begin to see ultimate reality. It sets you free to fly and past the sky of your mind until you begin to feel that you are the real deal and that you're here, you're there, you're everywhere because you're infinite in mind and scope. And if you follow this, you won't be a dope. I welcome you to Agape today. Feeling the presence of the Most High is why you are here. To absolutely become keenly aware that your life is indeed the life of God Almighty, God all beauty, God all joy. That you're not merely projecting all of the good that is within you, all of the infinite power, all the limitless good, all of the brilliance and intelligence and the luminosity, all of that is within you inherently, intrinsically. You are not merely here to project that onto other people or to project that onto a deity out there, but you are to embrace that as the activity of your awareness and then see it everywhere, to see it in each other, to see it in yourself. But if you don't embrace it and see it in yourself, what you will have the tendency to do is to project your limitation onto the world, and you'll even have the tendency to humanize God. You remember the statement that God made us in its image and likeness, and we have been trying to return the favor ever since. Many individuals have been projecting all of the foibles and limitations of humanity onto the presence of God. God's pissed off. Should I say that word? Well, I did. God's upset. God has chosen people. No, that's human beings that do that when they have limited consciousness, but the presence of God is limitless, unadulterated, pure consciousness everywhere in its fullness, seeking and always expressing itself everywhere in its fullness, and we are not only its conduits, but we're also the very life of the presence of God itself. So you have arrived on the shores of Agape to be encouraged to go more purer in your spiritual practice so that you can live from insight and revelation and bring to earth the realm of ever-expanding good until earth becomes heaven. In other words, when you consider the presence of God at the highest level, it is unmanifest light that is everywhere. And as it begins to course through the planet, it shows up as avatars and saints and sages, bringing that dynamic through the vibration of that which you would call heaven and angelic realms. And then after that, it shows up as individuals who are sincere and devoted about their spiritual growth, development, and unfoldment, and are devoted to elimination of suffering. And then after that, it shows up as absolutely wonderful beings who have a degree of lovingness about themselves. Sometimes that becomes conditional. Then it shows up at that as individuals who are serving the intellect and serving intelligence. And then it keeps going down and let more and more diminishment. And then it shows up as pride and arrogance. And then it shows up as hate and resentment. And at each level, there's no polarity. There's just a lesser expression of the light getting through. There are no opposites in God. There is no hate versus love. It doesn't exist. They're just gradations of the only thing that there is. And what you're seeking to do is to move past polarity and begin to see the all that is until it's active in your awareness. And polarity only exists when you focus on one line, one little perception, and then that breaks into two, duality, and you're living in this or that rather than this is all that. Listen. The presence of God, I didn't even know I was going down this path this morning. But anyway, there's only one. And that's the presence, the power, and the love of infinitude. And so, presence of God. And so this month, we're working with this particular theme of problem or possibility. You choose the world you want to live in. And you've been educated this month that problem emanates from the word emblem, which means emblematic of beliefs and perception, points of view, positionalities, perceptions that then are projected onto the world and reflected back to us as issues and problems, but they're just emblematic of states of consciousness, you see. And so many people are running around in the world seeking to change things in the world without changing the real that's within them that's projecting that particular world at all. People are in the movie theaters under a hypnotic spell of lack, limitation, fear, doubt, worry, not enoughness, and they're reaching onto the screen and getting upset at the screen and forgetting that they are in a collective agreement with ignorance, projecting the sense of separation onto the world, producing experience. You've got to change the real within you and begin to project something else. You've got to change the real within you through prayer and meditation so that you can begin to see the world that God sees. The world that God sees, God has no opinion about anything. God only knows itself everywhere. And so you get to choose the world you want to live in. You get to choose in the world of safety, of peace, of love, of joy, of wisdom, and harmony. Or you get to create polarity, and you get the world of problems and issues and separation and lack and limitation, and then fight against it and magnify it. You get to choose that particular world. And we want us, all of us, to come into harmony with the universal law and stop using it inversely. In other words, when you continue to speak about your big problem more than you speak about your big God, then you are using the law incorrectly, and you are in violation of the law. The presence of God is bigger than any problem. The presence of God is limitless. The presence of God has no ending and no beginning. The presence of God is non-dual, non-local, non-linear awareness that is everywhere, and individuals have unconsciously subjected themselves to something. What's the word? Unconscionable negativity by constantly talking about their big problems. You have to develop an inner lawful response of making sure you're talking about your big God more than you're talking about your big problem. Until you break the habit. Until what begins to come out of your mouth is there is a presence and the power and the love that's encompassing everything. It provides the answer because it is the answer. It provides wisdom and guidance because it is wisdom and guidance. It provides the love because it is love. It provides the abundance because it is abundance itself. It provides the joy because it is the joy. But you want to check yourself before you wreck yourself, you see? You want to check what comes out of your mouth to see if you are in violation of the law of creation. Are you talking more about the big problem, or are you talking more about your big, limitless presence, of which, when that becomes a holy encounter, a revelation occurs, and you begin to see differently. And then you become aware that the presence of God can be known even if it can't be proven. You don't even care about proving it. You let your light so shine before men and women that when they see you, they see God. Because you can't prove the nonlinear. You can only have a direct encounter with it, you see? And so you've transcended the lower regions of blocking the light, greed, and avarice. You've transcended the lower regions of blocking the light, just serving your intellect. You've transcended the lower regions of blocking the light. You're a good person that have conditional love. You're transcending the lower levels of blocking the light, which is a nice stage here, where you are solely devoted to the presence of God and becoming conscious and alleviating suffering. You're now moving into a whole nother space of which you begin to reflect and to reveal the heavenly states on earth as it is in the heart and mind of the infinite. And so what we're speaking about, of course, is the fact that your destiny is awaiting you. There is a brand, powerful, new, vitalizing destiny within you and within us as a species on this planet. We have arrived here on the planet to reflect and to reveal the heart mind of the infinite. There is a destiny in the same way that is coded within a rose bush seed. There is a destiny of a rose bush. There's a destiny of uncountable rose bushes coming from a single seed. It's a destiny that is there. In the same way, there is a perfect spiritual idea within you, a perfect idea of yourself. You did not make yourself. Life itself reveals itself as you. And there is a destiny. The only difference between you and a rose bush or you and a tree is that you have to participate in your own unfolding. You have to create the condition for your own unfolding. And therefore, your prayer, your meditation, your life visioning, your study, your fellowship, all of that creates a condition for the unfolding of a destiny. It's awaiting you right now. I want you to feel that. I want you to bracket for a moment all the ways that the world is seeking to tell you who you must be. I want you to bracket for a moment all the ways that wonderful beings in your life have told you what you must be, and come to understand that there's something intrinsic within you that you brought with you. That your life did not begin with your parents. Your life began before time began and continues to unfold. And that there's something trying to come forward through you. There's a great destiny within you. I want you to, right where you are, where you're sitting right now, just say mentally to yourself or say out loud, there's a great destiny within you. I'll say it, and then you inwardly or outwardly repeat it after me. There's a great destiny within me. I'm willing to set it free. There's a powerful destiny within me. I'm willing to set it free. There's a great destiny in we. We are willing to set it free. And so you want to begin to enter into your days with an awareness that there's a destiny seeking to unfold so that you become keenly available to inspired wisdom, direction, transformational knowledge, creativity, moving through you in a language and in a way that you can understand. You know what that's called? That's called paying your telepathy bill. In other words, there is a direct communion with the presence, but when you pray and meditate, you're paying your telepathy bill. You just catch it in consciousness. Doesn't come from figuring out things. It's not figuring out. It's a releasing to what's already here. And then you'll come to an understanding that your destiny is awaiting you, but you must drop the weights and wait no longer, you see. And what are some of those weights? Some of the weights, as I was hinting at, are the way we concretize the presence of God. That is the beginning. At this stage of our development, in this particular year of the unfoldment of the earth and the unfoldment of the human species, to concretize God is immature. That is, if I say the word God and you suddenly have a picture in your mind about a man in the sky or something along those lines, then you have concretized the infinite. You've concretized the indivisible. You've concretized the invisible. You concretize the ineffable. You have shrunk it into a picture of this is God. And there are people that live at that level, and it's creating a weight upon their consciousness because they've shrunk the infinite. You see, the presence of God is limitless. It's ineffable. It's non-dual. It's non-linear. You see, it's non-local. It's everywhere. You can't concretize it. And then the next level is what is called abstract thinking. And this is where the intellect takes us. It's, of course, like 4 or 5 gradations down from the absolute luminosity, the luminous, the limitless, unmanifest realm. It's down a little bit. And this is where individuals get into abstract thinking, which is higher than concretizing. And they'll have theologies and all kinds of tombs about what God is. And they'll end up in an abstract awareness of the presence of God, not yet in communion consciously, not yet having a holy encounter, not yet knowing that which can't be provable. It's this abstract conversation. It's higher than concretizing, but it's not there yet, you see? And many people are weighted down by those particular aspects of life. They've concretized the infinite, or they're in an abstract conversation about it. They've got books in their library they've never read. They're at parties talking about the highfalutin spiritual, metaphysical ideas. But there's no practice. There's no insight. There's no revelation. So the moment something happens in the world, they're scared to death because they don't know the non-dual, non-linear field of safety and well-being, which is real when you have an encounter with the divine. So at the next level of consciousness is spiritual perceptivity, beholding, where you are seeing the face of divinity everywhere. You all know about artistic perceptivity, where a great artist will catch a perfect spiritual idea and it becomes a composition in music. A great artist will catch an aspect of beauty and paint a picture. A great artist will catch the movement that's happening within the sacred silence and stillness of the infinite. Choreography is birth. And then there is spiritual perceptivity, where you see the presence of God. The weight is gone. There's no weight on you preventing the presence. We are inviting you into a holy encounter, you see? And so that's one level of weights you have to drop. Now, of course, we're not speaking about you not doing anti-gravity work and lifting weights to take care of your body temple, because 24/7 gravity is kicking your butt. So you got to do something on this level. But anyway, I digress a little bit. And then there is the weight of silos that are created by being right. And that is particularly at this stage of evolution. And we're in the stage of evolution we're in right now. There is a great cleansing that's taking place, in which darkness rises up to have its last gasp, so to speak. And there's tumult and there's seeming chaos and things of that particular nature. And individuals are tempted to go at one line of the gradation and pick a point and say, this is what I see. And then it creates polarity, creates right and wrong and things of that particular nature. And so silos are created in which individuals divide themselves into camps. And then at this particular stage we're moving through, it's the birth of compassion. But before the birth of compassion, there are individuals that have lost their compassion and have found themselves in being right more than being in compassion. It's the death throes of that particular linear point of view. And so you must hear the teachings of the avatar, Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus the Christ, that said, listen up, folks. I know you love me, okay? But check it out. They shall know you are my disciples about how you love one another, not how you love me. I'm cool. I don't need it. I didn't come here for myself. I didn't come here to be congratulated. I didn't come here to be embraced. I didn't come here to be praised. I came here to let you know that you are to love each other in the same way that you say you love me, the same way that you say you love God. How can you say you love God that you can't see if you don't love the beings that you can see? So there's a great weight on the heart of humanity when they cannot be in love with each other, regardless of where individuals are standing at a particular point of evolution. We're not talking about agreement here. We're talking about being in alignment with the fundamental harmony, the non-linear, non-local, beginningless and endless life of the presence of God, of which you are seeking to have an encounter. We're not here to create a new religion. We're not here to be religionist. We are here to understand that religion is a boat that takes you to the sublime. And once you have the encounter, you can appreciate your boat, but you're not going to overly identify with it, because your identification is with the ineffable presence of love and beauty and intelligence. So this weight of silos begins to dissolve. And when that begins to dissolve, then there's, as I was saying earlier, there's the activation of compassion for all, activation of compassion for ourselves, activation for compassion for our previous selves that has brought us to this moment, parts of ourselves that we might be embarrassed about now when we look back over the arc of our unfoldment. So compassion is now born on the planet, so that the vibratory frequency of the next stage of unfoldment is alive. In other words, I do not want you to be a channel for good. I want you to be an emanation of good. Oh, there's so much here to unpack. In other words, when you have a body and you actually have an insight while you have a body, woo, you infuse the mental atmosphere of the planet with the unfolding frequency and energy of the Most High. If an individual is merely channeling it without embodying it, the best that achieves is inspiration, temporary inspiration. But when you actually embody it and you silently speak your word or verbally speak your word, there, because of your integration and embodiment, oh, you change the very fabric of seeming reality because you have a body while you woke up. Oh, are you catching this? Are you picking up what's being put down now? And then the third level of the weight you must drop the weight of waiting. You must drop the weight of waiting. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. As it would state scripturally, I'm not sending you into battle. Stand still and see the self-elevation of your expanded consciousness. The salvation, it's already done. You have to stand still and not wait for some future unfoldment. You have to stand still and see that it's done. You have to see that it's happening. You have to see that it's here. You have to see that it is now. And then you become a representation, a vibrational representation of what's already happening even before it can be seen. That's metaphysics. The vibrational representation of that which can't be seen yet. Eyes have not seen. Ears have not heard that which the Father, Mother, God has in store for those who love God and are called to the higher purpose of which all are being called. Now, when the inner work is done, you will see. You'll see differently. I'm more than an optimist. I've seen a great vision, great possibility. Oh, I had a powerful dream last night. I might as well share it because I think it's in league with what's being said here. I was dreaming, and darkness was afoot. I was in this dream. It was like the ignorance had taken over the planet. People were in fear, doubt, and worry, and kind of paralyzed about it. And darkness was covering the globe. And then all of a sudden, there was this slender African woman, and she started to move a little bit. She started to dance a little bit. And then people in her community started to move. And then it switched to these Native Americans that were doing their particular dance. And it switched to these Buddhist oming. And it switched to different places of Africa where people were dancing and people were affirming and shouting. And all over the world, the great cacophony of affirmation and song and dance began to happen. And then there was a coherence. There was a coherence fundamentally that took over the population. There was a victorious shout, an acclamation of light and brilliance and possibility. The individuals began to see differently. They began to speak differently. They began to say what they were seeing from the light of God. And then the darkness, which was simply nothing, because there's no such thing as darkness of its own. The darkness is just an inhibition of the light shining through, began to fade and dissolve. And then there was this great light and birth of another stage of unfoldment. I want you to know that you must in some way or another capture the victorious sound within you. You must capture that part of you that knows that all is well. You must throw off the shackles of fear and doubt and worry. You must let go, and then you will discover something. Your mind may not know exactly what to do. Talking about your individual brain and mind, but there is something called inspired wisdom. There is something called guidance. There's something called safety. There's something called wellness and well-being that will begin to take you over because it is you And then you'll begin to discover you're living differently. Something else is happening. I want you to understand that you're not to talk about your big problem. You're to talk about your big, limitless, unconditionally loving presence of God until you realize that context determines perception. And so many people are lost in the context that they are merely the sons and daughters of their parents. They're lost in the context that they're merely where they were born or the circumstances they were born in. They're lost in the context of what schools they went to or what schools they didn't go to. The context is too limited. Therefore, the perceptual thoughts that emanate from a limited perception create limited experience of the good. Your context. I live and move and have my beingness in God. That's your context. God, remember, we're not concretizing God. It's not a man in the sky. A holy presence that is never an absence of love and beauty and intelligence, infinite abundance. Oh my God, more than words can explain. As the Upanishads reminds us, God had a thought and worlds were created. As the Bhagavad Gita reminds us that fire burns it not, wind blows it not, and water wets it not, fire burns it not, and wind blows it not away. When you name it, you can't find it. When you find it, you can't name it. As Yeshua ben Joseph said, it's so close, it's closer than your breathing, it's nearer than your hands and feet. As the Quran says, it's closer than my neck vein. You begin to live differently. This ineffable presence that's never an absence. Oh, come out. Come out. Come out from the fear. See the individuals moving. The victorious song. I could see our Native American brothers doing this sacred dance. I could see our African brothers and sisters doing this dance and this drum. I could see those chanting over and over and over again. It just broke the spell of separation. It broke the spell of fear. The victorious sound, you see. Don't let the weight of waiting weigh you down. Now is the appointed hour. Now you are the sons and daughters of the Most High. Now. But you have to leap into now with pure spiritual practice. And then you will see not with eyes. You will hear not with ears. Woo! It's a beautiful world. Oh my God. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. It pulls you forever. And you're never satisfied with anything less than the absolute connection with the presence. And then it fuels your endeavors. Yes, success. Yes, prosperity. Yes, generosity. Yes, creativity. All of that, you get to reveal it on earth, you see. Not from being right. Not from silos of separation. Not merely paying homage to your intellect, but coming into being a devoted being that seeks a divine connection with God and wants the elimination of suffering until you become a conduit of the realms of sacred heaven and absolute good, that the unmanifest, limitless presence becomes visible through you and nothing less than that. I want you to step into that frequency. I want you to step into that dynamic, you see. Give yourself no excuses. Let the sound of victory, yes and amen. Let the sound of victory move through you. All my needs are met. Let the sound of victory move through you. My body can heal anything. Let the sound of victory move through you. Everything is working together for my good. Let the sound of victory move through you. I am safe. Safety is a function of consciousness, by the way. It's not a function of what happens in the world. It's a function of your consciousness, you see. It's an activity of awareness, you see. Let the individuals rise up and say yes and amen. Woo! Sometimes you just got to move and groove with the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Life is good. Woo. Sometimes it's beyond words. Beyond words. Beyond words. Come into the silence with me for just a moment. Come into the space between your thoughts. Space between the in-breath and the out-breath. Infinity is here. And come to an ever-increasing awareness you've had no beginning to your life, because your life is the life of God. There's no ending to your life. We're not talking about your body. We're not talking about possessions. No beginning and no ending. We're in the perfect school called Earth that gives us living feedback as to where and what our perceptions are. This beginningless and endless part of us, which is us, we now feel into it. As we're feeling into it, we're giving ourselves permission to let go of the weights of concretizing and abstractly thinking about it. We're letting go of the weights of separation from each other, loving each other, not conditionally, but just loving the love of God flowing through us. You heard what he said. They shall know you are my disciples, but how you love one another. And then we shall wait no longer, here and now, and a great, victorious vibration is released. It's the song, it's the dance, it's the affirmation, it's the proclamation. Woo! It's the declaration, it's the decree. Oh, let there be light. Woo! Feel it in your bones. Feel it. Let's watch this individual feeling it in his bones. That's David Klein Lovett, who normally plays our meditation music. He's out at the beach on his phone. The right use of technology. He's got the wind. He's got a smile on his face. David! God bless you, David. He was dancing with Agape, you see? What about you? You ready to take a little movement? What's happening there, brother?
All right.
Brother Jamie, the troubadour of peace and of love. I'm hearing the bass line. Andre Barry, I'm hearing that bass.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it. What day is it? It's lovely day. What day is it? Lovely day. That's what day it is.
When I wake up in the morning, love,
We're waking up in the morning.
and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, a lovely day.
stuff.
seems impossible to face, and someone else instead of me always seems to know the way. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Come on, I just wanna look at you, and I know it's gonna be, come on, Jen, a lovely day. A lovely day. Come on, Mitchell Foreman. Woo!
Miss Foreman on the keyboards. That's Arlene on the sacred movement of the heavens on earth. That's Jamie Lula on the vocals. Get it, Arlene. That's it right there. Whoa.
Lovely day, 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 a lovely
celestial sound of triumph. Love wins because it's not fighting against anything but that which does not exist. Darkness is just the absence of light. The higher frequency always prevails. Where you gonna live? Where you gonna live? Problem or possibility? Choose the world. You choose your own world. I know where I'm living. Secret place of the Most High, baby. Under the shadow of the Almighty. Making the Most High my habitation. No hurt, harm, nor danger can come nigh the dwelling place of the Most High. Come on with me. Come on home to yourself. Come on home to yourself. Come on. Let go. Let life let go. Let God let go. Let love let go. Let kindness. Oh, we need some kindness up in here right now on our planet. Let go. Let compassion. We need some compassion on our planet right now. Don't fall into the trap of being divided. Don't let the fear mongers take over your perception. Don't let it happen. Do not be provoked, intimidated, or seduced into a sense of separation. Let your heart sing. Lovely day in every way. That's all that I see. It's reality. Sets me free to be more than I can see. That's real. That's here. That's now. We turn within in this moment. We feel the impulse of the Holy, Holy Spirit. That is the whole Spirit of God. God cannot give itself in parts. It's impossible. It cannot dole itself out. I'm a little bit over here and a little bit over there. No. The whole Spirit of God, is everywhere. That means it's right where you are. Ooh. contemplate that. So we return within, meaning that we take our attention and we extract it from the world of appearances, the world of the condensation of the artifact of a limited perception that has condensed itself in time and in space. Oh, I'm seeing so much here right now. Because time does not exist. Space is an abstract concept. And all movement is taking place in this unseen stillness. When you pop out of the world of appearances, stand still and see. All is well. So we turn within in this moment. I want you to give something right now. I want you to go to the depth of your being, and I want you to give thanks. Just give it. Give thanks. Just give it up. Give thanks. Don't limit yourself right now. Don't place your attention on appearances right now. Don't place your attention on your to-do list right now. Don't place your attention on things that you're concerned about right now. No, God wants your full attention right now. I want you to give thanks for your life. Give thanks that you exist. It's right here, right now. Whew. And in this consciousness of thanks, of appreciation, something is happening. That which was previously keeping us from seeing it's losing its power. We're moving from the news with the small n to the good news, Reverend Joanne. The gospel. The good news. The God spell. We're beginning to see. Woo. Spirit is saying, you better recognize. And we feel our oneness with it right now. Oh, as I'm feeling my oneness with the presence of God and knowing I'm connected and never rejected or neglected from the presence of God, and I'm connected to that part of myself known as this ever-expanding agape community, I know that as I am lifted up into this atmosphere of unconditional love and perfect peace, divine abundance and wellness and well-being. Oh, the drawing factor is becoming more potent, right? This community is drawing everyone into a higher frequency all around the globe. And the word that is spoken is the word of wholeness and vitality and vigor and wellness and well-being and wealth and harmonizing prosperity and joy and a dynamic peace of mind and a deep sense of knowing that everything is working together for our good. All of this is occurring right now. Woo! Let yourself go to it. Unadulterated good. Non-linear. This is a quantum leap from the linear to the non-linear without a ladder. The only way you can get there is through insight and willingness and sincerity. Leap with me. Just come. Ooh. Ah. And it's from this awareness that the word is spoken for each and every one of us. Now, I want you to feel it. Your body is mainly water, and it's easily imprinted. And as you're feeling these sacred tones right now by our house band, feel this. Feel this. Mm-hmm.
I recognize the Spirit in me. I recognize the Spirit in you. I recognize the Spirit is everything that is the truth. I recognize the Spirit in me. I recognize the Spirit in you. I recognize the Spirit in everything, 'cause that is the truth. I recognize the Spirit in me. Oh Lord, I get grateful, 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 Lord. I recognize the Spirit in me. I recognize the Spirit in you. I recognize the Spirit in everything.
to the celebratory sound that you just heard, cascading through every cell of your body temple and all the spaces between the cells that represent the unmanifest, infinite luminosity and light and brilliance of the Most High. All of that is moving through you right now. And so as we continue to be inward, feeling the impulse of the whole Spirit of the living God,